So this is the sort of table I'd like you to draw up for the materials that you listed from last week. Got the materials listed on the left-hand side down the bottom, and then some tests which I'd like you to do to those materials to test what happens when you do them. So cardboard, for example, if it was stretched, well, it pretty much stays the same. If it's poked, however, it gets holes in it, doesn't it? If it's torn, well, it starts to rip. And if it gets wet, well, I'll let you fill that in when you've tested it. So you can use a whole page, or maybe even 2 pages in your workbook to fill out a table like this and test all those different materials which might be able to use for packaging. So what I'd like you to do with this activity is get some of the materials together and do some tests. First one says, what happens when they're stretched? Well, cardboard, paper. What about when it's poked? Plastic, when it's poked. What about cardboard? Well, if you push hard in paper, well, what about being torn? What about what happens when it gets wet? I think you'll see that it does go quite soggy. And the same would happen for the paper. What about if it's scrunched? Cardboard, well, it's hard to scrunch, and paper, when it's scrunched. So that's the sort of thing I want you to do in testing these materials.